that was so dramatic sounding.
It was really dramatic. That was just me, as usual, bumping my mic stand.
Hello and welcome. Perhaps It's You presents a Pupcast.
Hero Dogs Pupcast. And we actually have pups in this one, not just pigeons and pigs.
I think this is all pups.
It is. No cats in sight.
This is a 100%
Hero
Pupcast. Hero Dogs. Here we are to talk about the heroes that live among us in dog form.
Thanks for tuning in. This is not a regular episode. Apologize for that, but we were at the Chicago True Crime Podcast Festival, and we weren't able to record a regular episode.
Yes.
So we're here for you with a Pupcast.
Honestly wish we always were doing a Pupcast and not an Unsolved Mysteries.
I don't really know why we didn't make that podcast, but we're committed.
But we were inspired by Unsolved Mysteries and its discussion of hero dogs to make a Pupcast, so we had to make the Unsolved Mysteries podcast first, and now we're stuck doing that, unfortunately.
But every once in a while we do an episode dedicated to hero dogs.
And I had thought of a couple that I was surprised we hadn't covered yet, and I was like, we got to do another one.
Excellent.
Pupcast, Pupcast, Pupcast.
We got the Pupcast chant. We're here with some hero pups to talk about.
My dogs are not here. You know why? Because they're not heroes.
Neither are mine.
They're just mangy mutts that
shit on gifts.
Shit on shadow boxes and try to eat my scones. And Lenny will drink my juice. He'll put his tongue in there and try to lap up juice out of a cup. He's so bad. Why is he so bad?
We love them anyway.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to go first or should
I really do love that bastard. Okay, I have a local story first.
Ooh.
This is Duke.
I think I know this dog.
The mayor of a small town in Minnesota.
He's so fluffy.
He was a 13-year-old Great Pyrenees, and he was the mayor of Cormant Village. And according to this article on the Huffington Post, one of Minnesota's most popular, good-natured, and fluffiest politicians.
Probably the most popular and the fluffiest.
Here he is, wearing a hat that says mayor on it.
Look how cute he is.
Oh my god. His responsibilities included appearing in parades and acting as an ambassador for the town. He won every election that he was in.
Of course he did.
People would pay this doesn't sound like a very legal election. You had to pay $1 at a bar to vote. It was kind of like a fundraiser thing. And the only time he didn't get all the votes was one time $1 was put in for his girlfriend.
Oh, scandalous.
I know. And really, I think this town was just small enough that it never had a mayor. And then
it's probably just a ceremonial position.
Hey, you know that dog, that farm dog we all like, Duke? What if he was mayor? And that joke, I love this. That joke just got out of control. And then the dog was the mayor. And it actually brought attention and tourism to their small town, because who doesn't love a giant fluffy white dog wearing a little top hat that literally says mayor on it?
And we've talked about this before, that animals will bring tourists to your town. Yeah. Japan knows this. They got the cats.
He was first elected as a write-in candidate in 2014 and was elected a total of 4 times. And the only time he didn't get all the votes was one vote that was cast for his girlfriend, Lassie.
His girlfriend's name is Lassie?
Yes.
Adorable.
I mean, unfortunately, Duke, after retiring, he's passed away at the age of 13. He's no longer with us. The town has just decided it doesn't need a mayor now.
No one could ever live up to Duke.
Yes, because everybody in this town loved Duke. And so once Duke was gone, they're like, I guess we don't need a mayor.
I mean, fair.
Look at him at this event where he's on a couch.
Oh, he's wearing his little top hat. That's the cutest picture.
Oh my god. So yeah, he was I suppose technically the honorary mayor. That was elected at an election that was really more of a fundraiser, kind of not really an election. Apparently, there was a town song about him, but when I was looking this up on the NPR website, it literally just says soundbite of archived recording, and there wasn't a way to play it.
Oh.
But apparently the song went, he's Duke, he's the mayor of this town, he's Duke, he's Duke.
Very creative.
So, we could try to put that to music, I guess. He's Duke, he's the mayor of this town, he's Duke, yeah. And apparently he was the sweetest dog, and if 5 children tried to sit at him at once, he didn't even care, and everybody in his town just loved him. And he served 4 one-year terms as honorary mayor, so 28 dog years. Oh,
good Good boy, Duke.
Good boy, Duke. I hope they build a statue to Duke. It sounds like this is the sort of place that would memorialize him, and he seems like he was a really good boy.
Oh,
and also, there's a joke on the show Veep about a town in Iowa having a dog mayor, and then that dog eats some chocolate and dies, and a character on the show becomes the first human mayor of that town, and it's considered this great accomplishment that it's not a dog anymore. And I assume that's a reference to Duke.
I assume.
So he's made it into, like, mainstream pop culture. Which is pretty impressive.
Boy, Duke. All right, I have a story this is from CBC News in Canada, and the title of the article is "Good Girls! Okanagan Dogs Honored for Protecting Owner After Crash."
These were sent in. I asked on Twitter if people had some hero dog stories, and I'm a Kitten on Twitter.
Okay,
recommended this one. So, thank you to them.
All right, dogs protected Matthew Smith and kept him warm and eventually went for help, says wife. Lady
says wife. Oh my god. I better not be quoted in anything ever. Like,
just wife.
Says wife.
Yeah, that's not great.
It'll be like, get out there and solve some fucking mysteries, you bitches, says wife. No, not okay.
Lady and Ruth are 2 Okanagan dogs, and they were honored for saving the life of their owner in April, I almost said 19. We just came off of a recording an Unsolved Mysteries episode. April 2017. Matthew Smith describes his loyal pooches, Lady and Ruth, as top dogs.
That's not how I describe my dogs, but go on.
The Yellow Lab Border Collie mixes were honored for heroism by pet food company Purina on Monday for protecting Smith after a terrible rollover crash in April 2017. They were pretty loyal, Smith told Radio West host Sarah Penton. I think they knew I was in trouble. He said he was driving his truck on West Side Road north of Kelowna, British Columbia at the time of the incident. Smith of Killaney Beach, a small community north of Okanagan City, doesn't remember much about the crash itself, but credits Lady and Ruth for staying with him, keeping him warm on the chilly night, and then eventually going for help.
What good dogs.
According to Laura Smith, Matthew's wife, Matthew broke almost all of his ribs, broke his collarbones, lacerated his liver, and suffered a brain injury. She says it's believed that he tried to go for help after the crash but collapsed and may have spent 2.5 to 3 hours passed out near his truck, which rolled down an embankment.
What a nightmare.
The dogs weren't injured and never left his side, Laura said. They huddled together with him for hours to keep him warm.
Aww.
Then they attracted the attention of a stranger who followed them to the crash scene and called 911.
Would Lenny do this for me?
I would like to think so.
Okay.
The only reason the guy who found him was able to find him was because the dogs brought him back, Lara said. Matthew Smith says his recovery is going well. He is regaining his cognitive function and expects to be able to walk again. He says, it's coming along. I'm feeling pretty good. Lady and Ruth, in addition to being inducted to the Purina Animal Hall of Fame, are getting extra snuggles and treats for their efforts, the Smiths say. They're so cute. There's a photo. Look them up. They're adorable.
They're so fluffy.
The best dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stayed with him for 3 hours and then got help.
Honestly, I'm not sure Lenny would do that.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure if my dogs would.
When I cry, he does like come and run over to me to make sure I'm okay.
That's sweet. He's a hero.
Is he?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, let's just say yes.
He's a hero in our hearts.
I mean, I love that little bastard. So yes. Is it my turn?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to talk about a dog I cannot believe we haven't brought up yet.
Okay, like Balto?
Laika the space dog.
Oh, sure.
How have we not talked about
Unlike
Laika?
you and Balto, I know who this is.
Oh my god, you're never going to let that go. It'll be my funeral, and Samantha will be like, can you believe Liz had never heard of Balto? And someone will be like, yeah, she also died in that tragic, whatever.
Car accident where her dog ran away and didn't save her.
Yeah. And Lenny immediately went, I'm out, and left. And it's really sad. And you'll be like, yeah, really sad that she didn't know who Balto was. That's going to be you. Okay, Laika the space dog. This is one of the first animals sent into space, but was the first animal to go into orbit around the Earth, paving the way for human spaceflight in upcoming years. And this is on Wikipedia. There's a picture of Laika in a little space harness.
Cute.
Oh my goodness. So, Laika was originally a stray from the streets of Moscow who was selected to be the occupant of the Soviet spacecraft Sputnik 2 and was launched into outer space on November 3rd, 1957. No, I'm just sad. I'm sad for Laika.
Yeah, this is ultimately sad.
But still a hero, I think, in helping with the space quest. But
I mean, how many dogs are in history books, right?
Yeah, we all learn about
has
Laika.
A lasting legacy.
Okay, so little was known about the impact of spaceflight on living creatures at the time of the mission, and the technology to deorbit had not been developed, so Laika's survival was never expected, and they sent her into space knowing she was never going to come back. They weren't sure at the time if humans were going to be able to survive the launch in the conditions of outer space. So the purpose of this test, I think they'd already sent some like mice and smaller animals, was to see like what would happen when a mammal was in space. So heroically, Laika was sent into orbit so that they could see if she would survive being launched and the like low gravity environment. And that paved the way for humans to go into space. It turns out that Laika died within hours from overheating, and it was probably caused by a failure to the... Oh, I'm sure this will mean so much to you. A failure to the central R7 sustainer.
Sure. I
to
know exactly
separate
what that is.
from the payload. The true cause and time of her death were not made public until 2002. It had been widely reported that she died from lack of oxygen on day 6, whereas the Soviet government initially claimed that she was euthanized prior to oxygen depletion because people thought the whole thing was a little bit cruel. So they were sort of trying to downplay Laika's death. The other important thing about this is that it sort of sparked a conversation about the ethics of animal testing, which wasn't something that people had really been considering up to this point. So that was like a critical moment in that timeline as well.
Sure.
In 2008, Russian officials unveiled a monument to Laika, which is what I like to hear. It is a monument in her honor built by the military research facility in Moscow that shows Laika prepared to fly into space. It is a dog standing on top of a rocket.
Amazing.
Yes. She also appears on the Monument to the Conquerors of Space in Moscow, which is just a great fucking name.
That's amazing.
We don't know how to name things here. Like, how much better is a Monument to the Conquerors of Space?
And there's a dog on it?
And there's a dog on it.
Amazing.
I mean, this is something you can look into more if you're interested. There's a ton of information about Laika. Here's a Russian stamp that shows Laika, which I think is cool. The reason they picked a stray animal was because they thought they had already knew how to survive extreme conditions of cold and hunger, which is callous, but probably true. At the time, Laika was probably 3 years old, and she had several nicknames, which translated from Russian into Little Curly, Little Bug, or Little Lemon.
Oh, cute.
Aww.
So sweet. Oh, Laika, your memory lives on.
Yeah. And I think, wait, what else is there? So there's a statue and a plaque to her at the Russian cosmonaut training facility. She's in the Monument to the Conquerors of Space. There was 4 other dogs who died on Soviet space missions. And I'm not going to say their names. And there's also a film called My Life as a Dog from 1985, which is like a fictionalized account of Laika's life. And there was also a graphic novel that came out in 2007. Oh, Laika, we remember you.
You were a hero.
Yes. And if I had had a girl dog, I would have named her Laika, but I got 2 scoundrels instead.
All right, I have another Canadian hero dog story. This one is from the Huffington Post, and it's titled Canadian Dogs Honored for Heroic Actions by Joining Purina Animal Hall of Fame.
Are Canadian dogs more heroic than American dogs? I think we can all say yes.
Probably.
I would say yes.
I don't know for sure, but it sounds right.
They're like inspired by the Mounties, I assume.
So on New Year's Eve...
or Degrassi. One or the other.
Yeah, probably
Ketchup
Degrassi.
chips?
Yep.
I mean, I'm inspired by Degrassi every day, so...
It really guides our lives.
Whatever it takes, I'm gonna make it through. Have I watched a lot of Degrassi Next Generation? You bet I have.
Maybe watch some later today.
You just, like, really caught my interest.
Great
Everybody
idea.
know which characters on Degrassi you think me and Samantha are.
Let us know.
I would be so curious.
Let us know. All right, it was New Year's Eve, and Brittany Cosgrove was in a very deep sleep. She woke to her brand new dog, Leo, barking incessantly. She had brought him home from Ottawa to her Vancouver apartment only a week before. At first, Cosgrove thought Leo was barking because there was someone in the house. She got up to check it out and discovered a fire was burning through her apartment. She says, when I opened the bathroom door, I saw fire dripping from the ceiling onto the floor, and there was a big black hole in the bathroom.
Oh my god.
Leo was my fire alarm, Cosgrove says. I don't even think I would be here if Leo wasn't there. Her pup is one of 3 dogs being honored by Purina for saving their owners' lives. The Purina Animal Hall of Fame inducts 3 pets every year who have done something incredible to help humans. Cosgrove and the other owners will receive $5,000 and a yearly supply of Purina dog food for their heroic pets. Cosgrove says, it just takes my breath away when talking about the honor of the prize. She says the money will jumpstart me and get my life back together again after the fire.
Aww.
Her belongings were all taken away because the building had asbestos. So, not great. She says that the Purina Animal Hall of Fame shows that animal senses can be even better than our own. The other winners...
Way better than our own.
This is 2017. The other winners that year were Skylar, who got help for his owner, Grace Goheen, after she broke her hip and was stranded alone for hours without a phone. And a dog named Becky Joe, who helped her owner, Tracy, after she was knocked unconscious and dragged through the desert by a horse. So the horse is not the hero in that story. It's the dog.
The horse is the chaotic neutral in that story.
Skylar's owner is quoted as saying, animals need to be recognized for the selfless things that they do for people. Skylar lay down beside me, and by this time it was quite dark, she said in an interview, but the sense of peace came over me and my fear disappeared because Skylar was there. I thought, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm going to be okay. A neighbor says that they heard strange noises, which were actually Goheen calling for help, and drove over to check it out. Goheen said, I thought, hallelujah. I said to my dog, there's Mike, go find Mike. And Skylar ran to retrieve a mitten she had dropped hours before, bringing it to Mike and eventually leading him to where Goheen was stranded. She says, we have a language, people have words, but dogs do heroic deeds that speak for themselves.
Wow.
So, Canada honoring its hero dogs.
You seem to have the most heroic dogs around.
They do. We should make monuments to all of them.
Can you imagine waking up? You're like half asleep, you're groggy. There's fire dripping from the ceiling and literally a hole in the floor, and you can like see into the, like, I don't know, next apartment below you.
Yeah, you wake up, your dog's barking, you think they just need to
you're
fucking
like,
go outside and sniff something.
Shut up, Lenny.
They're waking you up because they don't need to go to the bathroom, they just want to like sniff some grass.
Right, yeah.
And then suddenly there's smoke and fire.
And you're like, wait, can I see into the apartment below me? That's bad.
Yeah. And then the building has asbestos?
That sucks.
Oh, horrible.
The only good thing in that whole situation, hero dog.
Yeah, and then Purina honored them and gave them some prize money.
He's Duke. He's Duke. He's the mayor of our town. He's Duke. He's Duke. I mean, I don't know if there's any more of that song.
I don't know. That might be it.
That might be it. I'm totally in favor of dog mayors.
Yes, and songs
and child mayors and songs about them.
We could probably have a dog president and be better off. So
100% we would be better
maybe
off.
we should think about whose dog should be president.
Whose dog should
not
be
my
not
dogs.
Mine. No.
But there's got to be
a sensible dog.
There is absolutely a qualified dog out there to be president.
Just any. That'll be my bumper sticker. Any dog.
You
2020.
Did you see the recent article, that woman who was on America's Got Talent with her dancing dogs, and she had her dog dance with her at her wedding? I feel like that dog would make a great president. It's obviously very smart.
Sure. Well, I haven't seen it, but that dancing dog's got my vote.
Mine too.
Yeah. There's an episode of King of the Hill where he's learning to dance with his dogs, and they like his dog, and they like go to a competition, and it's really cute.
I'm all in favor of a dancing dog being president.
Yeah.
Maybe every political position should be just filled with dogs.
And a top hat.
And they can all wear top hats?
Yeah.
And we'll be better off for it.
I mean, if you can take anything away from this horrible presidency, we would just be better off without one at all.
Yeah.
Like, instead of someone...
Just a symbolic dog president.
Or just, like, a bookend or just a rock. Like...
a lump of coal.
Yeah, like... Someone, like, instead of causing problems, you would just have nothing.
I mean, that'd be a relief to us all at this point.
Just, a statue of Laika.
Sure. Maybe just a ceramic dog we bought at a thrift store.
We just paint president on the side of it.
Sure.
Nothing but respect for my president.
These are
the statue of a dog. Okay, I think that was a quality Pupcast. We'll have an Unsolved Mysteries episode for you next week.
And pretty soon there'll be a Patreon bonus episode about mummies.
Oh, mummies. I'm so excited.
Look forward to that.
Also, we may be throwing a friend a mummy-themed baby shower because she's going to be a mummy. Get it?
Get it?
So if you have any ideas...
send them our way.
For mummy baby... Guess how excited I am. So excited.
Very excited.
Other than make food that's shaped like pyramids and watch old mummy movies.
Let us know what your ideas are.
Yeah, because...
No... baby shower games. We're not going to wrap anyone in toilet paper.
No. Gross.
As tempting as that may sound because it's mummy themed, that's not happening.
No games.
No games.
Like, give me, like, food suggestions or, I don't know, decorations.
Party favors, all that.
Yeah.
All right, I think
mummies.
That's it.
We know what's great in this world? Mummies and dogs.
Yes.
Those are things that I like.
Yes.
Hello. Did we ever say what our names were?
I don't know.
This time? Doesn't matter.
They know us.
Okay.
You're not listening to the Pupcast having never listened to this show before.
Probably not.
Doubtful.
All of our social media stuff remains the same. It's perhaps it's you. We have a website, perhapsitsyou.com. You can email us. If you have a suggestion of a heroic animal story, we would love it.
Send us your favorite hero dog stories. Or hero animal. I mean, I did a pigeon once. It could be anything.
That's perhapsitsyouPodcast@gmail.com. You should hire me to write an article about heroic animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be amazing. Please do that.
Get in touch.
I would love to do that. I'm just going to put that out into the universe in case it could happen because that sounds really fun.
Let us know.
Yeah.
You can give us a little bit of extra money and get bonus content at patreon.com/perhapsitsyou. I had a hard time saying that. And I think that's everything we need to plug.
Also, if you're signed up for Patreon, make sure your payments are going through because we had 10% of people's credit cards declined this time around. And I don't know if that's just you don't want to tell us that you're not going to do it anymore, so you didn't update your credit card information, or if there's a problem with Patreon. So just if you're not getting stuff...
Yeah, maybe check that out.
Check that out. Make sure that your information is up to date.
Patreon has been known to be weird.
Yeah,
from time to time.
We've, basically always everything has gone through, and then this time it was 10% of people's cards didn't go through, and I was like, that's weird.
That seems like a lot.
But I don't really know what to do about that.
No.
So just check, make sure it's working for you.
Right, because you're going to want to get that bonus content.
Yeah. Okay, that's all.
We
love you.
Bye.
Solve some mysteries.
Elect some dogs.
Elect some dogs, yes!